we go. Affi, Otaaaq, pako, and Tween are fighting it out. And here we go. And of course, you should not forget his Comic-Con Baltics performance as well, which was quite solid.
Yeah, indeed. Finishing on the top 5-6, just getting bumped out of the consolidation final by I think it was Stufts and Epos that actually were in that very same match. So yeah, there was really nothing that Tween could do versus a Epos that was looking very strong at that time, and versus Stufts that was looking completely different compared to day one. That was really the thing that struck me in that particular second day of Comic-Con Baltics. In the meantime, we do have the map order. We start off on Canyon, then it will be Agility Dash the sequel, Wet Plastic, Motegi, and we finish it off on High Note. Although it will not be just a single rotation, we will be seeing map 1 twice guaranteed, because we move up to 120 points for final status as round 1 gets underway here on Canyon.
Yeah, so 120 points, so map order now is a bit more significant. Sometimes you can also see the rounds being bumped up from 4 to 5, but here the rounds are still 4, so map 1 plays an absolute crucial role now, and we can already see the first mistake being happening by Pussy to pako. Maybe the pressure is coming into play, but I mean, he just needs to get into the groove of things, and then he's just unstoppable. But currently it is Affi and Otaaaq just having a rematch. I think this is the first time that they meet just after the incident, because Affi has not been playing too much. Maybe have been on the seeding server together or something like that, but this is like the most important match that has happened throughout this event, and now they're here again and fighting it out. Currently Tween overtaking Affi here, who did not get a good line. Otaaaq in the lead right now, but Tween going for the attack. Wide approach, will have a lot of speed into that sector, minimizes airtime accordingly, coming a bit closer, but has to oversteer a lot in that sector. So Otaaaq takes home the first 10 points with a 102.321. Good time. Tween on second, Affi after that small blunder on third, and pako, of course, failed the start, is 1 second short of first position and only gets 3 points.
Yeah, a little bit of a diesel engine-like start for pako, it seems like, into this matchup. Let's see if he's able to warm up as quick as round number 2, as we do see Affi this time not even getting past turn number 2 and clipping on the inside with the right side of his car at the start section. So he will be out of the running for now. He will have to have a lot of work to do, and you will have to catch back up quite significantly. 4 tenths compared to the leader, close to that, now down to 3 tenths. pako currently at the tail end of the leading group, currently seeing a battle between Tween and Otaaaq for first and second position at the moment. It is a slight advantage to the Frenchman just before we head onto this tight chicane in the dirt, with Tween taking advantage at the split, but it's still very much nip and tuck and all to play for right now. As we head into sector number 3, they're separated by just 6 milliseconds. They're ghost within ghost right now, Otaaaq and Tween, with pako in hot pursuit still in third place, looking to have a little bit of his part to play here in that battle for the lead. And we do see a touch from the left rear of Otaaaq in the uphill. Affi promoted up to third and pako up to second place, but Tween is just running away with this one. He's absolutely gone up front, and that will be a 10-pointer in the bag for Tween, and pako clipping the wall on the outside at the end of the last corner, or actually more ramming the wall on the outside, going way too wide, and thus Affi promoted up to second, but Tween a .214. Talk about his fast time. Yeah, this is, he must have had a rocket ship strapped to his car, because that was an absolute blinder.
I want to talk about Affi here, because Affi made a mistake in the start and he still got second place. So absolutely great to see that. And Affi also one of the fastest players out there, of course, now with another mistake. And now it's even more lethal, since he's half a second behind. So he will not play a role. Still got 6 points in the round before, and of course due to a couple of individual small mistakes. But now it is Otaaaq and Tween fighting it out against Pussy to pako, who's a bit further behind. The ITB player who Affi was in as well, now is on third position and wants to get more than that, but didn't get a good line. He went a bit wider, but did not really catch too much speed compared to the others. And it is Otaaaq and Tween currently leading. Otaaaq with a wide approach. It is a different line, has more speed and a better angle to work with, but Tween still caught up quite a bit. It's still neck and neck, 16,000ths of a second. Good line from Tween, going a bit wider here again, trying to control the car a bit better and just minimize airtime accordingly. Tween, aggressive approach. Otaaaq will have more speed, and Otaaaq will win yet another round. And also pako almost overtaking Tween in the end, but look at that time here as well from Otaaaq. Another point to Otaaaq winning this round here, and this was another great time, and he goes back into the lead, but only by 1 point. It is 23 points for Otaaaq, 22 for Tween, and then Affi and pako somewhere in the nowhere's land right now, or no man's land, as they are at 13 and 11 points.
Yeah, hopefully this is just a case of a rusty first map to shake off and one map to tank, because right now we are heading into the fourth and final round of this first rotation of Canyon, which we'll be circling back to eventually at some point due to the 120 points limit for finalists here that we have in these finals. Right now, though, look at Pako's start, though, trying to right the wrongs of the first few rounds, currently sitting in the lead, a 10th ahead of Affi. It's the revenge of those that have had very, very sluggish rounds at the beginning of this map, and now Otaaaq and Tween left to scramble something together and trying to limit the damage right now that could be inflicted by both Pako and Affi. Right now, we do see a fight back from both Otaaaq and Tween. Affi demoted down to P4 through the start of sector number 3. That is a great entry into the grass banking from the two leading drivers in the scores, but now we do see Affi coming back, making it a three-way fight for second place. And Doka Pako currently sitting a 10th ahead, but he's looking a little bit slow at the landing of the jump. Tween tries to actually get the charge up for a second place, but he gets a little bit too swirly through that chicane, and what a time for Pako, a point 198, a 10th clear of Otaaaq. Imagine driving a point 3, which were winning times previously, and now you're down to second place. You're not even first. You don't even grab 10 points. You only grab 6.
Yeah, what a round that was. A 0.19 to take it home here. So Pako redeems himself after 3 rather conservative rounds, up to 21 points now, so only 5 points away from Tween. Otaaaq still leading, but I mean, no player surpassing 30 points on map 1, so this already screams like a very close match. And here we go. We go to the next map, and I think this could be a banger as well. Agility Dash 2 it is, and we have a small warm-up before we're gonna start on this map. And Otaaaq looking absolutely strong. I have not seen him playing thus far, actually. And I mean,
I've only seen him during the seeding, but that was it. That's my first time that I'm seeing it in a couple of matches. So 29, 26, 21, 16. The score recap for Otaaaq, Tween, Pako, and Affi in that order. Otaaaq theoretically the fastest on this map with a 102.828, then Tween on a 0.858. Then we do find Pako on a 0.888 and a 0.930 for Affi.
Yeah, so here we go. First round it is, and let's see what Affi can do. Right now, very promising start, but a lot of different lines to be chosen here. Otaaaq going a bit wider, going for more speed, and it is currently him. This line didn't already work out for him, but he's still not losing time with that. It was equivalent that way, and now Otaaaq with a full leap of faith has to oversteer a bit in that corner due to him not pre-drifting, but he's still in the lead. That is very close. Tween 26,000 away. Also Pako joining in into the fight, and this will be all in this last sector of this map. Otaaaq looking very strong, going very close there to the wall, but doesn't get the right snap accordingly, so Affi will come back closer. And also now the line is very important. Otaaaq still leading. Tween, Pako, and Affi trying to push, but it seems like Otaaaq is too far ahead to have been or to demote to P number 3 or 2. And look at those times. Imagine being last with a 103.02. What is going on? What is that rounds?
Yeah, what is that opening round? 0.915 for Otaaaq and a 0.968 for Tween behind in second place. Yeah, this is real nuts now. This is just round 1 out of 4 that just occurred here on Agility Dash 2, ladies and gentlemen. There's still 3 more rounds, including this one, of that particular kind of pace, hopefully, as we are currently through round number 2 right now. Everybody's still nice and grouped up together, about half a tenth between first and last, heading through to checkpoint number 3. Before the grass banking there, it's going to be Tween, clipping with the right front. That's such an unfortunate one to have. It was too eager to get into the transition, into the banking there. And also Otaaaq not having the best of middle sectors right now. It's going to be Pako and Affi here to have a little bit of a revenge and try to seize the opportunity to get some juicy points on the board for themselves. But Otaaaq is keeping a close eye on the procedures right now and might be mounting a fight back to at the very least salvage 3 extra points with second place. Right now it is Affi taking the lead ahead of Pusito Pako, heading into the grass road section. Otaaaq now the next one to put a threat to the second place from Pako right now. He's going to be all about the exit from that last corner and the identity, but Affi should have this under lock and key. Pako second and Otaaaq in third. 0.922 for Affi and a 0.985 for Pako. Imagine driving another 0.0 and you're only third at the line.
That's
and
crazy.
Affi managing to get a 10-pointer in the bag, and that is going to be putting him back into firm contention for that second place.
That was a very good time from Affi, and keep in mind he even lost 500s there in the end due to a rather not a perfect grass line through that corner, but I mean, we talk about just a couple of hundreds. He still got first, and that is what matters in the end. If it's a 0.8 high or a 0.9 low, it doesn't matter as long as you claim 10 points to your name. And Affi wants to continue just like in the previous round, as he is in the lead right now. Very good line from him as well. Otaaaq going for the attack, and he's promoting himself up into that second place battle alongside with pako. But look at that, tween also in the mix, and that is another very competitive round. Affi holding on to the lead yet again, and he's 500 ahead of Otaaaq. Pako with a first small blunder, having to readjust, and he will not play a role for that top 3 battle, as it is Affi versus Otaaaq here in the ending. Affi with a very conservative line here again, but he's still fighting it out with tween for that second place. Otaaaq in the lead, tween can maybe snipe it in the end, but it will not be enough. And another 102.99, which is only enough for 4 points in this round. Absolutely incredible again. This ending is delivering, and we just keep things starting here because the point limit is 120.
Yeah, the agility dash 2 is the gift that keeps on giving. The top 3 below the 63-second mark on a consistent basis here in the live rounds as we head on to the 4th and final round here of this rotation of Agility Dash, the sequel. Currently, everybody's still looking pretty poised. We did see that the first mistakes tended to crop up just after the entry into sector number 2, so just at checkpoint 3 there, as we did see tween having a bit of a blunder a couple of rounds ago through that grass banking. But so far, the Slovak has made it through perfectly unscathed, just fine. Currently, it is pako at the tail end of the field, looking to try and find an aperture to catch back up as we move back up to second place. Tween right now following along with Otaaaq as well, who's now under threat from pako for that 3rd place right now, heading into the last few sectors, heading with Affi, tween, and Otaaaq. 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be pako this time being left in the dust, around a 10th and a half behind the leader. And it should say leaders actually, because it's still a top 2 fight locked. Ghost within Ghost, heading through the grass road part. It's going to be tween emerging in the lead. Does he have enough of the lead up gap to warrant a 10-pointer for himself? He comes off a lot of speed heading into the final plastic part, but tween wins with a .924. Otaaaq barely doesn't even sneak in underneath the 103s, and that's going to be a 10-pointer that is very valuable for the Slovak, because that allows him to eat away at Otaaaq's gap, finishing in 2nd this round. Affi and pako in 3rd and 4th place, as we're going to be heading on to our next map. It is Wet Plastic up next.
Wet Plastic could really deliver the goods here for the one or another player. Affi looked really good to come back, but wasn't able to clear the gap after in round number 3 and 4, and now he's sitting there at 37 points, 14 points away from tween. And then Otaaaq still in control, 8 points ahead of tween on 1st position, and pako and Affi, they have to do some catch-up work here, since they're not even 1/3 through to the point threshold of 120 points when you will activate finalist mode, and then you have to win 1 more round in order to close it out. But here we go. Good luck, have fun to the players. We go to the next map. It is Wet Plastic, definitely a hard map with a lot of surface changes, I would say, but also the wet wheels are playing an important role in 2 turns on this map.
Yeah, indeed, the wet tires. Starting off here with this particular start section, where you do need to be very wary on that double left-hander in the bank to flat transition before initiating the drifted tires as quickly as possible. And then this other dip, which has caught out more than one player over the course of this weekend. And of course, that double right-hander going around the outside of the poles, try to cancel the slide at the right moment and get the tires dry enough so that you regain the grip for that end of the sector 2, which is still very fast and sweepy indeed. Heading to sector number 3 with that middle part of the plastic. Some players tended to go for the little white ribbon there at the exit to get a little bit of extra grip, but nobody goes for that here at this stage of the race. And it's currently Affi having a very solid lead actually over the course of this entire round, over a 1/10 of a second ahead of the battle for P2 raging between Otaaaq and tween. Tween moving ahead of Otaaaq for 2nd place, and actually tween going very aggro at the exit of that particular plastic part, trying to put Affi under pressure, and Affi cracks under pressure at the final corner, with tween finishing with a .697, again clipping at the bottom, which is something that you do tend to do more often than not here on this map for the Risky Fin. 47 milliseconds ahead of Otaaaq. Pako and Affi 3rd and 4th. A really big case of what could have been for the Swiss, as both tween and Otaaaq now past the halfway point here in this winner bracket final.
Yeah, this was an important round for Affi to win, to build up some momentum, but he has made that mistake. I hope he can recoup from that and not have this mistake in his mind settled. But let's focus on that one because Affi has the best start yet again, and he's in the lead together with Pussy to pako, but Clips there still gets away with it, doesn't get penalized, but of course the line was heavily influenced due to that clip, and both Tween and Affi are getting demoted to 3rd and 4th place. Pako and Otaaaq fighting it out for that first position right now. Otaaaq could just walk away with 10 points here yet again after a great ending in the last one. It wasn't meant to be, but still 6 points for him. It wasn't looking too bad, and Pako not with a good entry into the plastic sector. So it is Otaaaq quite comfortably in the lead. Pako getting attacked by Affi, who could at least get 6 points. Does not make a mistake this time around. Is a bit further ahead, but it's Pako with more speed. It will be to the line, and it's 11 thousandths of a second. Otaaaq winning the round. Affi at least getting 2nd place after a very weird drift with wet wheels, and he comes closer towards Tween, but it's still 18 points that he has to clear. A mammoth task at this point, since we are coming closer to the 120 point gap or point threshold. But I mean, players are halfway through, but the match can be over so quick with one bad map to come or something like that.
Yeah, indeed, a very thin silver lining here of that 6-pointer for Affi after the promise that was round number 1 here on Wet Plastic that went down the gutter because of that wall hit at the final corner. Let's hope that the Swiss driver is not going to be letting that play with his mind too much and do himself in, as we're currently midway through round number 3 out of 4 here on Wet Plastic. It's going to be once again the two front runners, Otaaaq and Tween, battling with each other in 1st and 2nd place. Otaaaq going very wide at the exit of the plastic to set himself up for the double left-hander. Beautiful tight line from the 2023 world champion, and currently Tween is not really having any answer to the pace shown by Otaaaq. Affi has taken the advantage of that situation to actually catch back up to the Slovak for the battle for 2nd place, heading into the final corner right now before the jump into the risky fin. Aggro line from Affi at the entry, but he's so slow on the exit that Tween should be able to cruise to the finish line just fine in 2nd place. And a 0.518 for Otaaaq indeed. We're getting very close to sub-zero times in terms of levels of pace. Tween, Affi, and Pako, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Just as a quick reminder, the record is held by Tween with a 0.397, but it looks as though that mark is not that far off.
Yeah, Otaaaq only driving 11 hundredths short of that in a match. Keep that in mind. So great stuff there from Otaaaq, who's up to 85 points. What a good display of skill. 15 points ahead of Tween, who's still somewhat in this match. But I mean, just giving an outlook to the final, if Otaaaq and Tween now make it, Tween, if he wants to win, has to just upper the pace a bit more. Otaaaq looks unstoppable. Also on this map, it looks very good. Now Affi with a mistake. Tween and Pako as well. So Otaaaq has a free 10-pointer to work with. And look who's on 2nd. It is Tween. Even though he made a mistake, he got away with it and will still claim 6 points to his name, even though he got watery wheels there. This is what you want to avoid. So Pako is joining in the party, and Tween, I mean, will be completely out on this one. I think he might have still had watery tires there, but also did not have a lot of speed to work with. So Pako capitalizes on that small blunder from Tween, which compounded into an even bigger loss for him, losing him 0.8 of a second. And it is Otaaaq with another 10 points, and this looks really good for him. But also Pako catching up a bit, but I mean, they need more than that, right? It's still 20 points between 2nd and 3rd, and a miracle has to happen. But if something could happen, it is on the next map, and also on Hinode, which would be the last map of this rotation, and then we would go to Canyon again.
Yeah, indeed, as we're circling back to Motegi, I think Tween is not really in the optic of trying to beat Otaaaq outright. He's seeing right out of the gates that Otaaaq is just a level above everything else for now, in this matchup anyway. The circumstances might be showing to be a little bit different whenever they head into the grand final. So Tween is just like, okay, I'm just going to be doing a little bit of a management race and try to trust the top 2 at the very least. And so far, he's doing a pretty bang-out job, having a 20-point lead over Posito Pako in 3rd place and Affi in 4th place, who's just sitting 1 point behind the Hungarian from ITB. But he must not really let that mindset play with his head too much. But of course, knowing Marek, he knows what the job is at hand. He knows how to deal with those kind of situations, and I think I'm expecting Tween to be in there in the grand final and the grand scheme of things. But first, he has to clear the hurdles of the 4 laps of Motegi that are starting right now with lap number 1, and we do see already Otaaaq sprinting ahead of Tween with Affi and pako in second and third, actually joining in to make it a little bit of a nebula of cars here through turns 5 and 6, trying to set yourself up for the chicane, and already a misalignment from Affi, who heads straight into the tire bundle at the entry into turn number 6 in the chicane of turn 6. Turn 7 negotiated through turn 8. We go onto the curb. Now turns 9 and 10. Everybody going for the full attack on the curb on the inside, but watch out not to go and overstep the mark, because you can clip your wheels at the very edge of those curves and completely thwart your chances of big points at the moment. Now through the hairpin, the wrong way around, but you can't attack on the inside because of the tire bundles on the particular curb. And now the jump onto the backstretch. It's going to be Otaaaq emerging ahead of pako through the high-speed chicane on the backstretch before heading back down the hill. And now onto the final set of corners with the full send being attempted by Otaaaq. Nobody clipping. pako going a little bit too wide, trying to catch a bit of extra speed. It's not enough. Didn't manage to get him done in. 101.908 for Otaaaq at the end of this round. 56 milliseconds ahead of pako. Tween finishes a creditable third, and Affi, 4.5 seconds down, does reach the line, but only collects 3 points for his efforts.
Yeah, Otaaaq absolutely dominating this match right now. 105 points for him. This is just beautiful to see from him just after, I think, is it 13 rounds that we have? No, wait, it is 17 rounds that we have seen, because we're gonna... no, wait, it's 13 rounds.
13, yeah.
Jesus Christ. That is an absolute great display of skill. I think if we see Otaaaq closing out this match, it will be very hard to beat him in the grand final. Like, having 105 points also after 17 rounds is not too bad. You would be in finalists with that, and right now Otaaaq has them after 13 rounds and will come closer to the finalist mode here even further, even if he gets that second position. pako with a great start. Affi half a second behind. It's not his match for now after that mistake that we have seen on the previous map on wet plastic, where he could have won round number 1 and maybe start somewhat of a comeback. It is Otaaaq absolutely dominating right now. Tween clipping there, the outside, that's what you were referring to, and it is Otaaaq trying to push, but pako with a lot of speed, again making it count, and this time winning the round with a 101.814. It seems we're getting faster every round, and it is pako who comes a bit closer to Tween because he got last. So it is 11 points between them. Affi at 60 points halfway through. He needs to step it up, but maybe he knows, which is the last map of this rotation, as well as Canyon, which will be played again, can play an important role for him.
Yeah, I think these will play a bit more of an important role than when Motegi is currently playing, with the struggles that he's displaying, and that he's displayed a little bit beforehand, actually, on this tournament, on the circuit that is the Twin Ring Motegi. But look at the start from pako, though, managing to emerge ahead of that group in turns 5 and 6, but now that setup for the chicane is going to be compromising that first place a little bit, and he's going to be sliding back down the order, down to potentially last place as Tween moves on the attack there for turn number 7 and into turn number 8. It's going to be Affi, Otaaaq, and pako regroup together. Tween is kind of left behind at a quite significant distance through turns 9 and 10, heading into turn 11 now. It's going to be Affi still leading, heading to the backstretch with the hairpin wrong way around, which is going to be turn 12 here in Motegi, and pako fully on the inside, does have a little bit less exit speed from that corner compared to Affi, who re-emerges in the lead on the backstretch through the high-speed chicane. Otaaaq in close pursuit in third place. It's going to take again the send, which pako has been able to pull off so effortlessly, and Otaaaq tries to do it, but clips on the front, and Affi full stop picks into the tire bundle, and with another 0.8, it's going to be pako taking another 10-pointer for himself. Where is Tween? Tween will be able to rally the line with just 1 second to spare, even less than that, and that means that pako is now going to be almost on even playing field for second place versus Tween, 84-80, and Otaaaq just a few points away from that finalist status. He just needs to reach the finish line here on this last lap of Motegi, and he attacks Inode with the red trigram.
Yeah, we have 2 big losers on this map. Tween and Affi, both not really feeling it. Tween, I think, got last in the last 2 rounds, and pako caught up tremendously, only 4 points away. That's how quickly Elite can dwindle. And right now, Affi now getting a good start. He failed the ending in the previous round, could have been insane points for him, but he also only got 4 points, 3rd position in the previous round. So this is how things can turn around. Still, Affi is not done with this match, and he is in the battle with Pussy to pako. Otaaaq wants to deny some points. He will be in finalists in the next round because he's at 117 points. It doesn't matter in what position he's finishing in, he just has to finish the round. And pako not slowing down, he's unstoppable right now. Affi going for the attack, but it doesn't work out. pako insanely close there to the tire bundle and drives a 101.584, only 0.2 away from Pak's world record. What an insane time, really. Wow.
What an insane time, and what a send again in that final chicane. And that is actually a new PB for the public leaderboards. It's not going to improve its placing. It's still P8 overall. He goes to within about 60 milliseconds from Richie's P7 time. And yeah, just under 2/10 away from Pak's 0.396. As we do head on to the final map of this rotation, and you do see on the left-hand side of the screen that Otaaaq is indeed in final status with the red name alongside him in the live ranking and the red trigram on his car that will be popping up at the start of this particular map.
Yeah, so Otaaaq can close it out here on Hinode, but I think this is a map that could suit any one of those players really well. Maybe someone has done extensive preparation because there's it's a lot of just hitting the right angle on the plastic bounce as well as getting that ending line across, regardless if you go for the hit or not.
Also, one thing I want to point out, Otaaaq heads into finalist on the map where he done a world record less than an hour ago.
True.
0.299 is the new reference time held by the 2023 world champion.
That's
Remember,
insane.
just a day ago, we were on 0.444, which just goes to show you how much of a difference 24 hours can make here in the GameWard Cup. But so far, it's Otaaaq not having the best of starts here on the first sector.
Yeah, this is not looking good, but great insight there, Geek. And of course, a world record is not being comparative with the actual live match, as pako also drops behind as well as Tween. So Otaaaq only has one player in front of him. Affi has to survive, and I mean, he should somewhat get those 10 points and not let Otaaaq go through. But Otaaaq goes for the risk, goes for the line, and he makes it count. Affi not with good speed. Otaaaq can side, but in the end has more speed. Will it be enough? It's so close, and Affi will stay ahead. It sometimes can be very deceiving. It was quite close, and if Otaaaq would have had more speed, this would have been enough to overtake. So a bit of a sweet bitter taste there for him, since his ending was good, but it should have been even better for him to overtake him there. But well, Otaaaq not closing it out just yet, and he is still in finals. I mean, the others are still more than 20 points away from him, so he has a lot of finals attempts to work with.
Yeah, a lot more finalist attempts to work with. He's pretty much undisturbed because he's still got, well, 26 points of an advantage over his nearest competitor, ladies and gentlemen, which is pako with 94 points, and Tween having a very slow rise up into the roof hit part, so he's going to be dropping down to P4, the Slovak player from OrgsTP Numelon. So right now, it's all eyes on this man, Otaaaq, the man from Samelo, 2023 world champion, going toe-to-toe with pako, continuing to try and deny the Frenchman that spot in the grand final. He's saying, no, you're going to have to work that little bit harder for just one more round at the very least. But now we do see both going for the risky strat. Who's going to come away with the most amount of speed? And it's going to be Otaaaq with a great regain of grip on the way downhill, and it's going to be the GG for Otaaaq, who secures his spot in the grand final of the GameWard Cup with a 0.789. pako takes the points for second place, Affi in third, Tween down in fourth, not having the best time so far on Hinode. He has to tank 2 more rounds in order to circle back to Canyon, where he was feeling a little bit better, it has to be said. But now Otaaaq, the big scarecrow, is kind of out of the playing field. This is where the match within the match starts, and this is where it starts to get really exciting.
Yeah, well said here as well, because Tween has had a very good start, but pako was able to overtake him, and also Affi is not too far behind, has gotten himself a lot of points, but he missed out on the potential of winning a couple of rounds here and there and threw away some points, but he's probably happy that it's still possible for him to make it through into the grand final directly. But there's only one spot. The losers will drop into the consolidation final and will play against the winners of the loser bracket final. That is happening right after this match, so you have a little bit of a break, at least, that is for sure. But let's focus on this round, because pako going for the line again. Affi with a very good jump, as well as Tween, but watch out for pako, who clips. He will not play a role, and will Tween finally be able to win a round? It will be Affi who finishes a bit earlier because he has more speed, and he will eventually get 10 points, which makes this match even more exciting. Look at that, the gap is slowly but surely just shrinking and shrinking. Only 10 points between second and fourth, Geek.
It could have been a lot worse for pako actually. If Affi had not been able to snipe Tween, they would have been dead even. It would have been a dead even 104 to 104 score at the moment between these two. And we do see already one player dropping out. That is, well, I say dropping out, just dropping a little bit further back. That is Affi with a bit of a heavy set landing midway through the first sector. Now onto the roof hit, marking the start of sector number 2. It's going to be, once again, Tween versus Pako right now. And it's going to be advantage to the Slovak for about 0.2 of a second. Through the freewheel we go. Much better run through that freewheel corner by Pako, allowing him to keep tabs on the man from GP Numelovs, heading onto sector number 3 with the jump onto the grass banking. Everybody makes it through nice and clean. Very aggro late apex for Pako. Not enough to actually catch up to Tween. Tween goes for the safer line as we do see Pako going for the strat once again. Is he going to be able to capitalize on the extra speed? The answer is not quite, and he even teeters on the edge. No! Tween misses up the finish! No way! That could have been a slam dunk 10-pointer! Oh my god, Marek, what have you done? What have you done? That is unfortunate, and look at the gaps. 6 points between second and fourth.
Oh man, Tween failed the ending there and was not able to claim those 10 points. And also Affi was having more speed than Pako, who had a very odd landing, and we see 6 points between the players. And here we go, map number 1 is being played again. World record from Strups 102.035, and we had close rounds here as well. We have seen point ones already, and here we go. Let's see who is gonna take it. One more spot direct into the grand final. If not, we have to play the consolidation final. Here we go, 10 seconds, and no one is finalist just yet. But I mean, Geek, this just shows how dominant Otaaaq really was in this match. It was an absolute great display of skill, and I think he is the clear favorite to win this entire tournament after this great performance.
I'm inclined to agree after what I've seen, yeah. Otaaaq is simply on another planet at this point, and yeah, very much filling in the role of Scarecrow in that winner bracket final, in the sense that he's just honked the 10-pointers for himself most of the times and leaves nothing but breadcrumbs to hold on to for the rest of his opponents, as Affi has unfortunately clipped at the start there after that very tight left-right slalom section, and it's going to be down to Pako and Tween to debate who will get to finalist status, or if Pako gets to finalist status at all, because right now Tween and Affi both are sitting on 104, so the best that they can do is deny Pako the finalist status at the end of round number 1. Right now, the Hungarian is sitting pretty on that first place here on the road, currently still being followed very closely, though, by Tween, less than 1/10 of a second away at the previous splits for the Slovak compared to the Hungarian from ITB, heading onto sector number 3 right now. Tween going very, very wide at the exit there, trying to carry a bit more momentum onto the penultimate dirt part, and Pako going very close to touching the wall with the left side of his car into the uphill dirt. This is looking very, very spicy in terms of rounds. Tween cannot do anything but watch as the Hungarian Pako pushes himself into finalist status despite that wall touch again at the very end with a .358. It's all about this next round for ITB's newest star. It's all about that one round, one shot.
Yeah, that's everything that he ever wanted here. And let's see if he is going to crumble under the pressure or not. He's finalist, and we have Tween and Affi at 110 and 108 points. So if Tween is going to win the round, he's in finals as well. Affi still has to get to at least 2 second places, but it doesn't look to be the case that he's going to get anything in this round, because it could be over. It is the individual battle between Pako and Tween again. Good line from Tween. Pako going insanely close to the wall again. This is so close for him, but he's still making it count and finds himself in the lead. Not looking too bad for him. 500s clear off of Tween. Make it 3 now. Tween catching up a lot. Pako with a great drift. Different approaches in this turn, and it is still Pako in the lead, but it's neck and neck. Pako with a bit more speed. The outside dirt turn will determine a lot of your speed before the penultimate real drift section of the map. I would say, if you can call the dirt, of course, a drift, and it is Pako who's trying to push, has more speed. Can he snipe it in the end? Tween with a mistake, and Pako will make it with a 102.238. Pako and Otaaaq are through. A bit of an anticlimactic ending, and Tween and Affi will get demoted into the consolidation final, where they're playing against the winners of the low brackets or loser bracket final that is happening just in a couple of seconds.